How to find a community. Finding a community, it really does takes effort for you to, find a group of people that relates to you. One way that you can find a community is by through joining a club or organization. For me, I joined an organization called Reach, which is right here. And so basically, within Reach, there are people that I knew from a program which was hosted by Reach called Senior Weekend. You know, it's a tragic that Senior Weekend is not going to happen this year because of this whole situation, COVID-19. Um, but yeah, because of Senior Weekend, I was able to visit Berkeley, and then they were able to provide a community for me, or for me to meet new people. And that way I was able to connect, I was able to be in touch with others, and also it's an easy transition for me in terms of finding a community. But let's say you haven't gotten the chance to do so. It's fair game for everyone. A lot of people probably haven't met um, that many people before coming in, so it's okay. Everyone has the same type of nervousness when you meet someone. So yeah, so it really does take a lot of effort for you to go out of your way and talk to other people. I also joined a dance club called EFX. So
Think that finding a community on campus was actually pretty hard, and it's something that I'm still actively trying to do. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys because I feel like growing up, I had a lot of preconceived notions that finding a community on campus and like finding your people in college was going to be something that like would just happen. And while I really do believe that college is a space where you'll find your people, and definitely people that you have so many different points of connection with that are different from high school. I think that like a lot of times people oversimplify like how difficult it is to sometimes make those connections and to sometimes create those friendships in college, because it's definitely not as simple as high school. Like, it takes definitely a lot more effort and more initiation on your part. So, if at any time in your first year that you really feel behind, I think that's totally valid. Or not behind, but like feel isolated. And then because you feel isolated, you feel behind in like your whole college experience. I think that's a very valid and very real reaction, because like I experienced that personally, and I know that a lot of my friends have too.
I think it was really hard for me at first just because I was very shy. In the sense that like I wasn't very comfortable with myself and who I was as a person. So I didn't know where to go to find community, if that makes sense. And so I kind of just stuck to the same people that I knew. Um, and one of those basins happened to be Reach. Because I was able to participate in senior weekend. So I had a lot of friends who from like that experience that I had. I had a lot of friends who continue to be involved in Reach, and my family head was actually one of the directors this year. Shout out to Julie. Um, and so it was just like I felt very afraid at first, and I always felt very excluded, or I felt like I don't have a place here, or like I don't feel comfortable in the spaces that I am in, because there were some experiences that I could identify with, and there was others that I couldn't. But once I began to like really like take more time to spend more time in the space, I realized that like a lot of the people that I met were people that I wanted to stay friends with, just because they had a lot of the same visions and the same passions as me, and they came from a lot of the same backgrounds, and those are things that I personally find really important.
I had a really hard time finding a community at Berkeley, especially coming from out of state and being a naturally shy person. I didn't really reach out or do anything to find a community my first semester until I realized that I wanted more out of my college experience. So I looked for clubs and organizations to join that really fit my interests and my passions, and that included Reach. That also included a few clubs within the environmental community, and they really became my close friends. The things that I would go to for fun, they had events that I would meet new people at, and that really fostered a community for me at Berkeley.
In regards to finding a community here on campus, I think Berkeley is a great place for that just because of the diversity we have. I'd say there's so many opportunities for you to meet new people, such as joining clubs, friends from classes, or friends of friends even. I'd say joining clubs is probably like the easiest or most natural way in terms of developing relationships, just because y'all both joined a club for a reason, like whether it be like your academics, your professional career, or either like interests and hobbies. Following up on that, there are so many different clubs we offer on campus, such as like academic clubs, so major specific, or there's even professional clubs. Like for example, I joined a consulting club my first year and really got to know people who are also interested in that and see like we all saw each other grow basically. Friends from classes is also really cool just because for me personally, like I've met people in my classes that I still hang out with today just because we vibed a lot and we keep in contact even after the class is over. In addition, friends of friends, like mutuals, like you're like, oh, I know that person, you know that person, and you're like, oh yeah, like, and then I think that's a way to like start conversations, but also if y'all just vibe, then a new friendship can form from that. I also think it's really important to note that you don't have to be hung up on like finding the perfect community or finding the perfect friend group your first year or your first semester. There are so many chances to get to know people like every semester. You get to join a new club every semester basically if you wanted to, or just get to know people like every year. So as a result, like don't be so stuck on needing to find a community right away, just because there are so many opportunities in the future as well. Berkeley is such a huge like campus, but like the more people you hang out with, the more people you see, the more people you recognize, I think it just gets so much smaller and the experience just gets so much more personalized to you. That by the end of your career here, there's so many people that you would be able to call your friends and like hit up whenever you want just to hang out whatever late night, like yeah.
How to find a community at school. So I was the only person from my school to be accepted into Berkeley, and apart from my roommate, I didn't know anyone else that went to Berkeley. So finding a community was really tough for me. Thankfully, with Reach, I was able to, just come and go to events as much as I please, and I ended up joining Reach as an intern and then as a coordinator the next year. And that really helped me find a community here at Cal, especially being so far away from home. Another community that I found is through soccer. I played a lot of soccer in high school. So when I was at the dorms, I actually made a couple of intramural soccer teams, and I just invited anyone who I can. I posted up flyers and everything in my dorms, and everyone who came and joined the team with me, I ended up getting along with pretty well. One of my closest friends at Berkeley and my roommate right now was actually with me on that soccer team. I actually met him through that soccer team, so it was really, really fortunate to actually, go into a group, go into a community that I found very interesting, and just find people to connect with.